Morning. Is everybody ready for another happy week?
I feel better this week, so.
Better about what? Accounting or?
Oh, no, just in general, not about accounting.
Yes.
No, I was sick. I was under the weather last week. I feel
Under the weather.
Yeah.
See, Carl Cooper is not here yet. He might show up. Vaughn's not here.
He's coming.
He'll make it. Okay. Roach here. Tony Hood's not here. Fraser's here. Marcus had to go in for shoulder surgery, so. Tasha's here. Amy's here. Hatfield's not here. Hayfield. RJ's not here. Alicia's here and Tommy's here. Brooke, how you doing on Cengage? Chapter 11 finished?
Yeah.
Good. Amy, did you finally get finished?
Oh, yeah, and done half of chapter 12.
Oh, good. Alicia, you were finished last week, weren't you, Lisa?
Yeah.
Fraser, how you doing, Cengage?
Finished 11.
Finished? Antonio, have you got started on Cengage yet?
That's good.
I just, Marcus, you're here. I thought you were having surgery.
It's next Friday.
Well, I just got the email this morning.
Yeah, I had to send that over.
Oh, early, okay. I guess Mark is running back there smiling, me counting him heads and talking about it. America like a possum. How you doing, Cengage?
I completed 11.
Yeah.
Just getting started on it.
I know you're almost finished.
Yeah, I got 100%, so I went ahead and submitted
Good,
that.
good. Mark, how about you on Cengage?
I got 80.
Yeah, you just finished.
You doing 80 on chapter 11?
Oh, man.
Okay.
Have you not ever done that? No, usually.
As long as you got 80, that's okay.
Okay, yeah, I do get like
Okay, we're in chapter 12, folks, and that is partnerships. And there's no need to review again the characteristics. And I'm going to look at PowerPoint with you a minute. To repeat, these are the four types of ownership in this country. Now, there is nonprofit, which is your churches and all these other nonprofit organizations. But here's the main four, and proprietorship, we have more of those. Partnerships have the biggest failure. Corporations have more assets, more employees, more sales than any other type of business. So there's little characteristics of each of those. Let's see, who came in back there? Is that Hayfield? Rayfield. I'll get it right one day. All right, just reviewing those. And proprietorship is one person. Characteristic of proprietorship, limited life means if you die, it is no more. The owner is taxable. Now, partnership is where we're at. Two or more people, they're not taxed either, but each individual person is taxed. There's no limitation on legal liability. They can lose their personal assets. It has a limited life. If one partner dies, you should start over again with a new agreement. And two people can't raise as much money as a corporation can. You co-own the property. Mutual agency, one partner can make debts in the other partner's name. So we got down to participating in income. I told you this is the newest form that's coming along and popularly used quite a bit. The LLC. Now it's also non-taxable. It has limited legal liability. It has unlimited life. You can keep on operating if one partner dies. And a wrap up of those. Now that's where we were last week. Now, forming a partnership, one concept in the chapter is starting a partnership. It is easier just to put in cash, but this partner's putting in all these assets. Now, this would have to be the fair market value. You don't take somebody else's store equipment that's on their books for 54 and put it on your books for 54. You take the fair market value, what it could be sold for today. All right, and to make a journal entry with those items we looked at last week, debit all your assets, credit any liabilities and your bad debts, and credit the difference to Joseph Stevenson Capital. Now that's one ideal in chapter 1, is starting a partnership. Alright, that's just an LLC, about the same thing, except it's a member's equity. Now this person, I guess, is putting in cash, inventory, equipment, and the new partnership's going to take over his note, and he has capital of 66. Now here's where we got into splitting income and losses. And we could split on according to the service of the partner, service and investment of the partner, and you can divide according to abilities. You may give them a salary or interest, which is not mentioned there. All right, now here's monthly salaries of 5 and 4. Divide the remainder equally, but you got to know how much. That would be easy. Now, what if they made 50,000? What if they made 50,000? How would you divide the remainder equally? I don't even want to erase. Well, that's weird. How much would be left to divide equally?
41,000.
All right, give out 9, at least 41, and you divide that equal, be how much?
25.
20,500. Sounds better than 25. Service to a partner. Here is your net income of 150,000, and here we're going to give a salary allowance of 6 and 48. That's 108. Remaining, the division of 150,000 income will be reported on the bottom of the partnership income statement as follows, and they're splitting the remainder equally, 21, 21. And of course, this is just a closing entry. You've had those before, about chapter 5, I think. Debit your revenue and credit your expenses to give them zero balances. If you had any net income, that's capital. And who gets the capital? Jennifer and Crystal. All right, down here, one method of dividing income, give a salary allowance, interest on capital investment, and any remaining equally. We did one like that last week also. So let's practice one this morning. Chapter 12, exercises, end of the chapter. We're just going to practice a couple of these as we go. Okay, I want you to do exercise 12-3. You can work together, whatever you want to do there. Do exercise 12-3. Alright, just do A and D. Do A and D. And E. A, D, E. So everybody's okay with the textbook, I suppose? Marcus, you have a textbook? E-book? Look, that's a solution.
No, that's from the other day.
Okay.
I already had that one done.
Well, A part is quite easy. Determine the participation income of 290. How much did they get in A part of that 290? What's 50% or half and half?
145,000.
145. That's your answer for A part. With no agreement, they split equally. Now we go on down to D. Give a salary of 36 and 45. This is Taylor and Piper. T and P. TH and Piper, something or other. Albright. TH and PA. Now we give them a salary of how much? 36 and 45, right? Now the best way is just start it out in a chart form. And add that up. And that's how much when you add it up. Is that 81? Alright, and then it says to do what with D part? And the balance equal?
Yep.
Alright, you know your total's gotta add up to be what, 290?
Yep.
So how much do I put in here to make 290? 81 from 290 would be 2,
209.
and we split that how? Okay, I'll just put E there for equal, and that would be what? 100. 4,500?
Yep.
And you could add these up, and it should equal horizontal and vertical. In this case, it's what, 140,500?
Yes.
And this is 49,000? All right. They equal horizontal and vertical. Now, that one's pretty easy. Now, if you can get this last one, E, you can get any of these. Now, E, it starts off with, let's see, See, we have allowance of interest at the rate of 5%. Salary allowance is 36 and 45. So our salary allowances are the same, aren't they? That part remains the same. But now we've got to give them interest on their investment. 5% interest. And their investment is what, 210 and 70? So what is 5% of 210?
10,500.
This one gets 10,500. And what's 5% of the next one?
3,500.
All right, now that's equal to what? 14,000? Okay, and the rest equal, or on some ratio. All right, this has to equal to be 290. So how much do we have left? 81 and 14. What's that? 95. 95 from 290.
I did the salary allowance first. I just put into that.
The what?
I gave each of them a salary allowance and then they split it. So like, the first one got 36,000 and the second one got 45.
Right, I've got that here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I've got the salary allowance.
And then it's 195.
Now we've got the interest. And we split the remainder equal, right? Okay, and what is the remainder? If this is 95, would that be, is that 195?
Mhm.
Is that correct? How do we split that equal? 97,500 maybe? Now, if you're working that problem, or if that problem's on Cengage, that's what you do. Then you can add up how much you put in each one's capital account. All right, let me see if you remember one more ingredient from last week, what little time we spent on this chapter. All right, we want to split up 90,000 of income. And I want to split that on a 2, 3, 4 ratio for partners A, B, and C. So you tell me how much partner A, B, and C gets. All right, what does what's partner A get?
20,000.
20. Partner B
30.
and partner C.
40.
It's 20, 30, 40, isn't it? Because this adds up to what, 9? And we've got 2 ninths, 3 ninths, and 4 ninths. And multiply that by 90,000, here's what you get. Got that, Brooke? Alrighty. Now, we're going on to another concept. We have looked at the entries. We have looked at dividing income. Now, here is one other possibility I need to point out to you. What if you have 100,000, but you give salary allowances of 108, and you give interest of 33.6? Well, that's 141. You don't got that much, do you? So that's got to add up to 100. So we gotta put a negative, a minus 41.6 to get this to add up to 100. So they split that minus 41.6 equal. It's taken out of what they would have got in salary and interest. So you can have a minus when you do the income distributions. Okay, then. From there, we go on. All right, everybody work this one real quick, I guess, for one last practice on dividing net income. That's probably Carl Cooper. Come in, Carl. Half absent again. If anybody's got an extra alarm clock, bring it for Carl Cooper. All right, take a second and work this one out. Here's what they had in their capital account. Here's the net income of 240. How much did Steve Prince receive, Amy?
Have got it.
Don't got it yet? Anybody there yet? Alicia, how much does Prince receive?
No, I believe I just did this wrong.
The what?
Wait, maybe not. I got 140,550.
For Prince?
Yeah, but that might not be
So you got 140,000 out of the 240? Why did Prince get the most? Because he got a salary of 42, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I did it right.
All right. Prince gets a salary of 42.
No, I did it wrong.
He gets interest of 1,800, 9% of 20,000. 9% of his capital. Now, Alicia, that totals up to 57.3. It takes 182 to reach 240. They get 91,350 apiece. Now, Prince, your answer sounded wrong.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to say how I did this wrong. I got the interest and everything right.
Salary. What are you on the right track for?
I was somewhere. I
Close.
was on insurance.
Wait, did it there?
131, 135?
All right, yeah. All right. A couple, three of you may have had time to get it. Some of you are getting close. Some of you hadn't started. All right. And we can't wait for those who hadn't started. Okay, we're going to move on to another situation in a partnership. Now, we've looked at starting a partnership by putting in your assets or cash. We've looked at a lot of ways of splitting income. Now we want to take in a partner. Why do we want another partner, Brooke? Any idea why we want another partner? If you and Andy were in partnerships, why would you want to take in Alicia?
Because she's smart.
What?
Because she's smart.
Because she's smart. Well, she's got something to contribute to it, don't she? Anybody, why else would we take in another partner?
Money.
We need more money. Now, they may have a skill. They may be smart in some area that you're not. They may have a skill you need. Maybe they got a famous name. And you want them just for their name. But there's all kinds of reasons for taking in a partnership. Now, how do we take that partner in? It requires journal entries to take in a partner. Now, if he just put in 10,000 cash and you debit cash and credit his capital for 10, that's smooth and easy. Now, you can purchase an interest from other partners, or you can contribute assets. That's why I say you can just contribute cash, that's easy. Now, when a new partner is admitted by purchasing an interest, the total owner's equity and total assets are not affected. Now, in other words, if Amy owned 50% of the partnership and Brooke owned 50. Now, Alicia wants to buy out half of Amy's. All right? If Brooke well, this thing's supposed to run. If Brooke had, I'll use 10,000, and Amy had 30,000. All right, they want to let Alicia, another A there. Now, if Amy sells 15,000 of hers to Alicia, now Amy would have 15 left, and Alicia would have 15. Now, the journal entry of that would be is to debit Amy capital 15 and credit Alicia capital 15. Does it matter what Alicia pays Amy? What if Alicia only gave Amy $1 and a bag of peanuts? That's between partners. That's okay. What if Alicia gave Amy 50,000? That's between partners. That's okay. It does not affect that she bought half of Amy's capital, and she only gets half, which is 15,000, no matter what she paid Amy. The emission of a new partner is recorded by transferring owner's equity amounts from one capital account to another. All right, now we have Tom here. We have Nathan. We're going to sell 1/5 of their partnership to Joe for $10,000 apiece. Now, the partnership has total assets of 120 and liabilities of 20, or net assets of how much? 100. Both existing partners have capital balance of $50 apiece. Now, they're going to sell 1/5. What is 1/5 of 50,000? 10,000, isn't it? So they're selling for 10 and 10. He's giving them 10. That's all okay. So you debit their capital and credit his capital. Same thing for an LLC, except you credit members' equity. All right, now we're going to let this partner in. Joe's going to put in 20,000 cash. That's easy enough. Debit cash and credit his capital. But it's not easy. If they had 100,000 capital, how much do they have now? 120? What if they give him 1/3 of that partnership? What is 1/3? What's 1/3 of 120? Amy, divide 3 into 12 without using a calculator. Good. Quit using that calculator.
I was trying to process it.
All right, he's giving them 20, but he gets 40. We got to debit cash for 20. We got to credit his capital for 40. Who loses the other 20? The other two partners. If they were splitting profits and losses equally, then you'd take 20 out of each one of their accounts, or 10 out of each account. Now that scenario should come to light in the next entry or two. But here's the best way to omit a partner. Take his cash and give him capital. All right, current value is fair market value. Many times your inventory, your assets have a different value. All right, for example, inventory is really appraised for $3,000 more than what it was on the books. So we're going to give that to the old partners, $1,000 or $1,500 apiece. Had to reappraise the assets. And here, the equipment had went down in value. So we had to debit the accumulated depreciation on it, and credit equipment, and debit their capitals for the difference or loss. Revalue assets. All right, look at this entry. Blake invested $45,000 in Lawrence and Curry partnership for ownership equity of 45. Prior to the investment, land was revalued to a market value of 260 from a book value of 200. Then Lawrence and Curry share net income in a 1-to-2 ratio. Now, first off, what entry would you make here? Land had went up in value by how much? 60?
Yep.
So we debit land for 60, and we credit Lawrence capital and Curry capital. But now, they were sharing in a 1-to-2 ratio, that's 1/3 and 2/3. So they gained capital just by their land going up in value. Now they're gonna take the cash of Blake and credit his capital. That's omitting a partner. Now partner's bonuses is the omitting partner can get a bonus or the old partners can get a bonus. Right now look at this scenario. The partnership of Marcia Jenkins and Helen, anyway, Marcia and Helen, is considering adding Alex. After the assets of the partnership have been adjusted to current market value, the capital balances, here's what they own, $20,000 and $44,000. We'll see what happens. They're going to admit this new partner for $31,000. In return, he will receive a 1/3 equity in the partnership. Now, if we already had 20 and 24, he puts in 31. That's 75. He gets 1/3. How much is 1/3 of 75?
25.
But he's putting in how much?
31.
Why would you put 31, Amy, into a partnership and only get 25 equity? Why would you do that? You want in bad, don't you?
Apparently.
All right. They've got a going business. It's doing well. They've already taken the risk, so you'll pay 31,000 and get 25. That's common. All right. I've been in 4 partnerships. I had a tax practice, and I had accounting tax practice, and 2 used car loans. Okay. But the time I got down to starting the last used car lot with my brother, I had a good agreement with him. And it made it easy when we sold out or split up or let somebody else in or let somebody go. So forth. But anyhow. One story in the used car lot business, and I hope nobody in here is this naive, ignorant. All right. I had a car on the car lot, and this was back in the 70s, somewhere ago, and it was $10,000. This person brings in a car to trade on the car. Well, with inflated prices, that car now would probably be about $18,000 or $19,000 car. But anyway, I offered him $2,000 trade. So how much would he been paying difference? It'd been out his car in $8,000, right? But that wasn't what he was after. He wanted more a trade on his trade-in. So he wanted more on his trade-in, and I gave him $4,000 on his trade-in. But I marked the car's price up to $15,000. He gave me $11,000 difference. Now, is that stupid? But he got a good trade in. That's what he wanted to brag about. Okay. All right. Now, we're taking in this partner. He has given us 31, but we're only giving him 25. So we debit cash for 31. We credit his capital for 25. Who gets the other 6,000 difference? The old partners, right? However they want to split it. And right here, it shows you the 6,000. and they split it equal. So here's your journal entry. Debit cash credit all three people's capital, but they got a bonus by letting him in. They got 3,000 of his cash apiece. Okay. All right. Now that's letting a partner in under giving him a bonus. Now, he gives you a bonus. We could reverse this, and he gives you a bonus. He may put in, well, wait a minute. He's giving you all a bonus of 3,000 apiece. It's like Alicia wants in Amy and Brooks partnership. She gives them a $3,000 bonus. But it could be the other way. They may want Alicia so bad that she puts in 30,000, but she gets 40,000 in capital. They're gonna give her a bonus. So let's reverse that bonus. Bonus to the new partner. All right, now here, all right, here's what you have in the partnership. She's putting in, they are putting in 30, right? But you're going to give them how much? A 1/4? So what is 1/4 of 150,000? All right, so they're putting in 30, but you're giving them 37.5. Who loses that 7,500? Somebody's got to lose that 7,500. The existing partners. So we take, according to their ratio, we take 5 out of Janice and 2,500 out of Steve. And we give Ellen a 37.5. So bonuses can go either way. So look at page 617. And I want you to do exercise 14. Take a few minutes, you can work on that together. And if you're out there in the world of live streaming, please follow along with us. Okay. I say that's in the class, you should be in the room also. That's where I'm gonna get the money. that was, I believe, Dr. Johnson. Yeah, lady. Okay, folks, are we there yet? Okey doke, let's see what you're supposed to look like. Anybody brave enough to give me that first entry?
I'll do that.
Okay, Amy, shoot.
I don't know the other two.
The what?
Cause I don't know the other two. Debit merchandise inventory for 8,000. and credit the two capitals for, $4,000 each. As he's scrolling up, I'm going, wait a minute, that's not what that says.
Yeah.
There it is, okay. Oh, I did it backwards.
All right, you did back. Was it merchandise inventory or equipment?
It was equipment.
All right,
I looked at
the equipment went down, in value, right?
I did it
So
backwards.
you take 8 out of equipment, take 4 out of their capital. Debit your capital, take out 4.
I was all excited, I thought I got that one right.
Yeah, close. Okay, that's revaluing an asset. Now, don't know if anybody got this next one or not, but we're gonna take cash of 20, right?
Yep.
But we're only gonna give capital of 29.6. So how do we split the 9,600?
One the other two.
No, wait a minute, we give cash of 20, but we get capital of 29.6. All right, we must really have something good to offer. All right, the old partners lose 4,800. That's omitting a partner by giving that partner a bonus. Now, how do we calculate that? Well, we can look at their capital, and the contribution makes 148. Well, if I get 20% of 148, I get 29.6. But I'm only given 20,000. So the difference is 9,600 split 2 ways. Now in part two, we're given 60,000 cash, but we're only going to get capital of 56.4. So they lose 3,600, 18 apiece. Up here they gained 48. No, they lost 48. Down here they gained 18. Now you're going to run across these on Cengage, aren't you? That's a $3,600 bonus. All right, any questions? Then I'm going to X that out and go back to PowerPoint. Now we're going to let a partner go. Fourth concept in this chapter. Now we covered one concept. Starting a partnership. The next concept is splitting income. The next concept we just finished, omitting a partner. Now we want a partner to go. Why do partners go? Why does the partner get out? But he wants to retire. Death is not the same as death. There's a death, there's no more partnership. This partner wants out. Maybe you want this partner out. Maybe you want him bad enough to give him more than his capital's worth. Maybe he's just rotten for the business. Okay. All right. Again, the withdrawal partner's interest is normally sold to the existing partners or the partnership. We just have to pay them all. Let's look at some possibilities. We'll look at the death later, and then we're going to look at, well, they're not going into withdrawal of a partner very deep. A partner may retire. Now, if he has 20,000 capital and you've got the cash, just debit his capital and credit cash, and he's gone. All right. Now you may have to revalue the assets because he wants to know what the equipment, the inventory, whatever's worth. You may give him a note. But you do debit his capital account. Right, the only entry on the partnership's record is to debit the capital account of the partner withdrawing and credit the capital account of the partner buying. You may just buy him out with cash. He puts the cash in his pocket and you debit his capital and you credit your capital. Or you may give him cash out of the partnership, as I was illustrating. We'll have to look at some better examples. When a partner dies, you should close the partnership books. Determine the net income up to that date. Adjust the asset. You're going to have to give somebody his partnership amount. So we're going to look at liquidation. Liquidation is the fifth and the last concept. Liquidation means you're what? Going out of business? Yes. Now you may have to revalue the assets. I want to show you a chart, I hope. I want to show you this chart. The assets on the books is 11 cash, 64 non-cash. That's equipment, merchandise, inventory, liabilities. You got capital, capital, capital. Now that's 50, 30, 20. That's 5, 3, 2. That's 1/2 and 3/10 and 2/10. Okay, now you're going to sell the assets for how much? 72. They're on the books for how much? What is 64 from 72? Well, you got to split that 8 in a 50, 30, 20 separation here. Now the partners have, now you pay off your liabilities, you give the cash to the partners, everything has a zero balance, and everything's hunky-dory. But it's not all that simple. It could be that one of these partners has a negative balance. But anyway, this is the fifth and last concept in the book. And we're going to practice journal entries on these things Thursday. And I'm going to give you a few little exercises to do for Thursday. So try to bring these to class with you. All right, exercise 12, omitting a partner. Exercise 16, letting a partner go. Exercise 18, liquidation. And 20, liquidation. Now that is your homework from the book. And who has started Cengage chapter 12? And Amy, you're what, 50% finished? Alicia,
Got like 30, I think.
30%? Latasha,
I'm sorry.
haven't started yet? Brooke? How about any of you guys? Nobody started? Okay, you should start. Okay. Let's call it a day.